Hello, you're watching James. My name's James, you're watching me, and I am talking about watches. Well, today's video is a little bit different because today I am participating in a 100-pound watch challenge. A watch challenge set by Troy over at the Bald Watch Collector channel. This challenge has been set to a number of different content creators out there, all dealing with watches, and the idea behind it is find the best watch you can for 100 English pounds. And I thought, whoa, excellent. I'm really happy to participate in this. I think this is going to be a really fun challenge, and I think I'm going to do fairly well because I'm pretty good at finding budget watches. But there is an issue. The issue was that there is a time constraint. And the way that I find watches, generally one of the key reasons I'm able to find good watches at good prices is because I do not have a time constraint. I can spend as long as I need to find the right watch at the right price. This one, however, certainly within a time constraint. So it was a little bit harder to find that right watch for under 100 English pounds. Now, whenever I am looking for a watch on a budget, I go to a bunch of different places. Firstly, secondhand watches. I scoured the secondhand watch market. I found quite a few that I liked. Some were out of budget, unfortunately. Others I liked, but I didn't like enough to buy. I then thought, okay, vintage watches, especially affordable vintage watches. I like affordable vintage watches. Again, scoured the market for them. And again, found a few that I liked out of price range, a few that were okay, but I didn't really wish to own them. So grey market, look at brand new, on sale, grey market, on sale, something cheap. Same problem, either out of my price range or not enough like to actually want to own it myself. Now, this is a challenge. Obviously, I'm trying to find the best watch at a budget, but I'm still spending my money, so I still want to find a watch that I like. So I went to the next step of Aliexpress. Now, I didn't really want to buy a watch from Aliexpress because it didn't really feel like it fit the challenge perfectly. However, I know if I was looking for a watch to buy on a budget, Aliexpress would be one of the places that I go. So I started scouring Aliexpress, and as I was doing so, I had a thought. I had a thought about a watch that I have not owned yet, a thought of a watch that has been getting lots and lots of positivity over a long period of time, and it's a thought that perhaps I should buy that watch. Everybody else seems to think this is one of the best budget watches out there. Perhaps maybe it's good enough to win this challenge. So today I'm going to be talking about a particular watch, and I'll flip the camera around in a moment to show you that particular watch, and perhaps I might actually win this challenge. I think there's some stiff competition, so I'm not quite sure about that. What I do have to say is that I'm really looking forward to watching everybody else's content, see what watches they came out with, because I can almost guarantee that some of them are going to give me some ideas of watches to buy. Now guys, we want you to participate in this. In the description of this video, I'm going to leave some links to the other videos out there of the other watch creators and their watches that they've bought, and I'm going to give you a link on how to vote. We want you guys to participate in this and vote to say which watch you think is the best watch for the price bought. It would be nice if you vote for me. However, I really want you to vote for the watch that you think is the best. Also, leave me a comment below to let me know which one you do think is best, because yeah, I might want to buy some of their watches as well, or at least the same watches that they have bought. So thanks again to Troy for letting me participate in this challenge. It's been a lot of fun, a little bit of heartache, a little bit of bashing my head against the wall trying to find a watch within a time frame, but I've ended up buying one. So let's flip the camera around and let's check out what I ended up buying. So what did I get? What did I get from AliExpress that possibly may be one of the best value watches that you can buy? The best value automatic watches, me liking mechanical watches that you can buy. And something that I have not owned before, and it's the first time getting a watch from this particular brand as well. Well, it is a Steeldive. Yes, it's a Steeldive. Perhaps not the most interesting choice, trying to be particularly different. No, not really. Maybe even a slightly safe choice. But Steeldive, I've wanted to be trying this brand for some time now, so this has been the perfect excuse to do so. But are you going to know which Steeldive that I've chosen? Well, I'm guessing there's a few of you out there that have probably guessed which one it is. It is the Steeldive Captain Willard Homage SD1970. Yes, it is a well-known watch amongst the sort of AliExpress watch enthusiasts. So I guess that's what we're going to be calling ourselves, or well, I'm going to be calling us that at the moment, and known to be one of the best value automatic watches that we can get, because we're getting a good-looking watch, a well-made watch, but also a great value watch as well. And just say, now that I've only had this in hand a very short period of time, there's probably three things that stand out to me about this watch. Firstly, the value for money really stands out. The quality, the weight, the feel, the bracelet, the clasp, everything about it really screams pretty well made. And then when you consider the price that I paid for this, even when it wasn't on sale, Wow, yeah, it really stood out to me. Secondly, it was actually the bezel action, and that really surprised me because as soon as I started turning it, I thought, wow, that feels really nice. And zero backplay. This is a really affordable watch and has great bezel action. An affordable watch from Aliexpress with great bezel action, I did not know that existed. And it also lines up. Check that out, it's perfect. If this can do it at this price, why can't Seiko do it? I don't know. But there was a third thing that stood out to me very quickly once I put this on wrist, and it wasn't bad, but it wasn't perfect. And the clasp. The clasp is okay, it looks okay, it feels okay, but it's a little bit sticky. So, yeah, I feel it sort of grabs a little bit, sort of grabbing there, and it's a little bit sticky there. It works perfectly fine, double pusher. It is milled as well. I think this is a somewhat recent upgrade to this one, the bracelet with the milled clasp, but it's probably not the perfect. Yeah, see, it's getting a bit stuck. It gets a little bit stuck, and you can see it sits up a little bit. But hey, this is certainly an affordable watch, so I'm certainly not going to come and be complaining about it. It does, however, come with a really nice sort of looking dial. I went with the black, which is the very traditional one. Black dial, black ceramic insert. Ceramic insert as well at this price is quite impressive. Apparently there's going to be a fair bit of lume there. I'm not sure how good it is. I'll end up doing a full review of this one at some stage, so keep an eye out for that one. The brushing is a little bit rough, but hey, this is an affordable watch, so I'm not complaining. It's not bad, it's just probably a little bit rougher than some other watches that I've seen. Has the Seiko NH35 movement in there, so we get a great automatic movement in there, which means it also has hand winding as well as hacking. The bracelet is actually quite surprising about how good it is. Bracelet is actually probably better at this price point on this watch than some of the Pagani design watches that I've owned as well, which have been a little bit more expensive than this. Has solid end links, which fit really, really well. I'm quite impressed by that. All brushed, I think. There's a little bit of polish on the sides there. The links are put together with split pins, so they're not screw links, unfortunately. But hey, once you've set it, that's going to be perfectly fine. As I mentioned, the clasp is not perfect, but there's heaps of micro adjusts, so you're definitely going to get it on wrist, or at least a good fit to it. Sort of milled inner, and we've got that Steeldive logo there, which is really cool. Mask and snorkel, fins, as well as the air tanks there. And how does it look on wrist? Well, as we would expect from these sort of Seiko homages, the like-to-like is relatively small, even though the overall diameter is quite large, so it fits really, really well. Sits down really nicely on wrist as well, so I am really impressed by how this one feels on wrist. I have owned a Captain Willard homage before by Tactical Frog, which was a really, really lovely watch. This one probably isn't quite at that quality. It's certainly, it'd be great to have a side-by-side with that one. Unfortunately, I have sold that one, but this one is really, really nice, and at this price, it really, really blows me away. So what do you guys think? Is this a contender for the winner of this under 100 pound challenge? I think it certainly is one of the best value mechanical watches that I've ever experienced, and I'll be really interested to see what the other guys come up with and see if they get sort of better watches for me. I have no doubt they're probably going to come up with some slightly more interesting options for this challenge. This one I think perhaps is a little bit of a safe watch to buy for this particular challenge, but hey, it ticks the boxes. It's also a watch that I wanted to buy and own as well, so it ticks a couple of boxes for me, and I'm going to enjoy wearing this one. If you are interested in participating in this challenge and voting for these watches, I'd really appreciate that. As I mentioned in the description below, there's going to be links to the channels as well as the videos, hopefully, that you can view, and then there'll be a link to a place where you can vote for which watch you think is the best value at the under 100 pounds. It'd be great if you voted for me, but realistically, I want you to vote for the one that you think is the best. I'll be doing exactly the same thing. As always, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I do hope to see you in the next video.